Glenn, where are we right now?
We are in 1971. This is Archie Bunker's home, 704, what was it, 704 Houston, right? And this is the original set. I have the kitchenware. I'm sitting here at the table. I didn't even realize this. This is the plate they used on All in the Family. This is the plate I grew up with. I ate cereal in a bowl just like this. My grandfather used to drink his coffee from this, and he would pour it in the saucer so it would cool down faster, more surface area, and he'd drink it from the saucer. Yeah, and in exactly this stuff. It's crazy.
That's physics right there. Yeah. That's impressive.
Yeah, well, he was a smart man.
Yeah. I think the obvious question to start with, even before why we are here, is how are we here? How do you have the original set from All in the Family?
In 1980, I think, Archie and Archie's Place and everything was over. And so Norman Lear expected to do a reunion show. So he packed the entire setup into an air-conditioned storage unit. At some point, he realized that ain't going to happen. So it went back to Viacom, which is CBS, and they used it at the studios just for display at Nickelodeon. I think it was Nickelodeon. Then they had no use for it, so it came up for auction. And I'm preserving American history, and I think the healing that happened in the 1970s, it wasn't. How do you go from all of those assassinations, Martin Luther King, the riots on the streets, everything, how do you go and bring it all back together, okay? Meathead from this show, yeah. he was not a liberal. He is a bona fide Marxist, okay? He's talking about seizure of lands and, you owners of these companies. He's a Marxist. How did we get to heal again? And I think it's this show, because if you watch it, and I think you have recently, yeah. If you watch it, some of the most difficult conversations were happening at this table. They would sit here and they would talk, and Archie would say, "Shut up, you," okay? Yeah. But they were talking about everything. Abortion, size of government, racism, rape, the very first episode of any television. They were all new norms, okay? And while Archie would say, "Shut up, you," and Norman Lear had a point of view. He was much more a Marxist than a capitalist. So Meathead would make some points, but Archie would get him too, and he was viewed as in my family, Meathead was as one of those hippie liberals that are going to stay in college the rest of their life and bleed the rest of us dry, okay? And that was said.
Yeah.
And so you could walk away, whichever side you were on, you could walk away and identify with somebody at the table. That allowed us to have these conversations in our own living rooms by watching others in their living rooms have the conversations. This show changed America.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because it wasn't only having those conversations. It's what happened after. And what happened after was they were still a family.
Yes.
All in the family. It was all in the family. It was really, the title meant something.
Right.
And the healing process of two warring factions kind of coming together at the end was really important.
When Archie, there's a couple of episodes where Meathead is just on the verge of moving out. And Archie is very excited about it.
Yes.
Until it comes to the moment where they're moving out. He doesn't want that to happen. He wants the family together. How many of us are living in broken families now? How many of us can sit at the table and say, "Shut up, you," and yet still have a good relationship with our family members?
Yeah,
it's not encouraged. A show like this could not be done today. And that's why I chose this set.
Can we take a look around here, though?
Sure.
Just from a fan's perspective?
Sure.
So how much of this is actually from the set?
100% of this is the actual set.
Dishes.
The dishes.
Pictures.
I have every fork, every napkin. I have everything from the set. everything from the set.
That's incredible.
The only thing that is kind of different is the Archie and Edith chair.
Oh, really?
Because
these are two of the most famous chairs
correct.
in the history of America.
Everybody will say they're in the Smithsonian. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember the year, but it was like 1975. And Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton were negotiating through Norman Lear and CBS. Well, these two were playing hardball negotiation, and so is CBS, and no one was telling Norman Lear this is negotiation. These two said, we're not doing another episode no matter what you offer us. And CBS countered with, good, we're done with the show. Neither of those were true, okay? Hardball. Norman Lear said, are you guys out of your mind?
Yeah.
And CBS said, we're not doing a deal. So he gave the two chairs to the Smithsonian. Then they reached a deal. They had 5 more years. And he calls the Smithsonian and says, I need the chairs back. And they said, quote, we're not a lending library. So they kept the chairs. This chair cost him $15 the first time around. He said he got it for about $50 the second time around. This chair became the most expensive prop in television history, okay? They could not find this fabric. He bought this chair originally for like $20. This fabric, just the fabric of this chair, to get it exactly the way it was, no mills, no looms could make it anymore. One factory in France could retool and make the exact fabric. The fabric on this chair cost $16,000 in 1975.
Oh my God. So what the chair over, I can't even imagine.
So the Smithsonian chairs are from the first half of the run. These are the second half of All in the Family.
But still 5 years of the show.
Oh yeah, it's the real deal.
That's amazing.
Yeah, look at his remote control.
The remote is incredible. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, RCA Victor, this is amazing.
I mean, would you even know?
It looks like a shaver. I thought it was like an electric shaver. Yeah.
Look how space age it's supposed to look.
Oh, it's amazing. And all the stuff, and you know, the stairs don't actually go. There's no. If you don't have
we haven't built out the entire set because we're, it's expensive to build sets out. So there's a lot still in boxes. The whole front porch.